amazing viewers, the good news is here. We went on a little break, but we are back, yes, with invigorating content. I know you missed us. We missed you more. You matter to us. That is why we are back to bringing you your favorite youth-centered talk show that focuses on reproductive health and rights. We will talk about the good, the bad, the fun, the thrilling, and even the downright heartbreaking. And collectively, we will suggest solutions to it. We listen to your suggestions and inputs, and we are back with new everything. Okay, not new everything, but definitely some new changes. As a platform that continues to ensure that young people get the needed information about their reproductive health and rights, we are back with new changes to make the show exciting. Now, you can join the conversation with your questions via WhatsApp even before the show begins. All you need to do is to send them to 059 394 7812. Again, 059 394 7812. The juicy part, which is my favorite part, is now you stand the chance to win souvenirs like branded t-shirts, pens, caps, and even airtime when you join and actively participate in our broadcast sessions. So tell a friend to tell a friend to also tell 10 friends to like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook at Subsign TV, and join us this Friday and every Friday at 3 p.m. as we learn and have fun. Young Voices Forum, centering young people's voices in development. Perhaps for shisha smoking due to popular urban trends. Though FDA has declared these joints illegal, they keep springing up by the day. Shisha smoking is so popular that it now appears to be a lifestyle among young people who seem oblivious of the health implications of the flavored tobacco substance. For them, shisha is safe because the smoke goes through water purification before they inhale. But the picture doesn't look good. We can say it's gloomy. Cigarette smoking is widely known to be harmful, but did you know that shisha is equally or even more dangerous than you can imagine? Well, according to the British Heart Foundation, an hour shisha session is equivalent to smoking 100 to 200 sticks of cigarettes. Alarming, right? It is not just that. It is also said to contain nicotine, tar, carbon monoxide, and heavy metals such as lead. These chemicals, the World Health Organization says, are linked to addiction, heart and lung diseases. But why are people still smoking their lungs out despite the glaring health implication of shisha? A very good afternoon to you and welcome to another episode of the Young Voices Forum. So today, our topic for discussion is shisha. We'll be talking to a medical doctor, Dr. Elim Aholu, and also someone from FDA, who is a regulations officer, Mr. Yusuf. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So to just start the whole conversation, I will just say, I think that when it comes to shisha, a lot of people have very different, perceptions about it. What is shisha, sir?
Yeah. Actually, when we talk about shisha, let's talk about tobacco first.
Okay.
Yes, tobacco products, FDA regulate tobacco products. Looking at the Public Health Act in 2012, that's Act 851. That is where FDA actually, that's what speaks about FDA and its regulations. When you look at Part 6 of the Act, it speaks strictly about tobacco. Section 72 of the Act talks about FDA tobacco regulations and then control registrations as well. So tobacco actually is a substance that contains nicotine.
Okay.
That is being taken in different forms, which shisha is one form of taking in tobacco. So in brief, shisha is an equipment purposely for like vaporizing tobacco substances into smokes so that the person inhales it, thinking that maybe because it's been vaporized and converted into a different form, it's not directly the smoke that the person inhales, which is actually the mentality of whoever is actually taking this shisha.
Oh, yes. I see. Dr. Alim.
Okay, so
Yeah.
from what I know, a little addition to what he said.
Okay.
From what I know, shisha is, as he said, some people refer to shisha as only the tobacco substance sometimes, but generally it's actually made to, we are made to understand that it could be the whole device.
Okay.
So mostly it comes with a head, it has a bowl, it has a hose that goes into it, and a mouthpiece.
Okay.
So they have a part where the tobacco is mixed with flavors. They come in different flavors.
Okay.
So we have apple, pineapple, strawberry, depending on your flavor and what you like.
I'm laughing because I want to ask how you know the flavors.
Please.
Okay. Okay.
So yes,
Yeah.
so they have different flavors. So the flavors plus the tobacco is mixed together, put with charcoal. We have electric ones too, which the electric ones are also there, but mostly they do charcoal. So the charcoal burns through the tobacco, it passes through the pipe, comes into the bowl, which is where the water is. Then there's a fuse or kind of a hose connected to it with a mouthpiece. Then you inhale through the mouthpiece.
Wow.
So that's a little addition, and it has other names too. It's called goka, hookah, but most people call it shisha.
Shisha. Okay. But what do you think makes shisha so attractive to young people? Because I mean, it is not so, for me, I feel like it's not so different from cigarettes. But somehow, cigarettes gets a bit of shunning. You know, people say, okay, cigarette is not good and all of that. But it's like shisha, everyone, like almost every young person that I know is like, think that, okay, shisha is okay, shisha is fine. Why do you think young people are attracted to that?
Okay, so first of all, I think you even said it in the intro. I think there's this misconception around that shisha is safer. It is less addictive. So I think most of the youth just know this and they feel that, oh, shisha, I can take shisha, nothing will happen to me. Because sometimes when you ask people, they'll be like, oh, shisha, there's not like that. Like when you smoke it, that one, you are smoking pure good stuff. But they really don't know the health implications of shisha. And also right now it has become kind of like a status. Like most people feel if you want to chill with the big boys, you have to like do it. Like it's that kind of thing. And you know, among the youth, there's this curiosity for such things. And even coupled with social media, you see your friends taking it and things, you see it, you are curious, you want to take it. You want to know what it is. You take it, you like it because it's addictive. You like it, and after, it's almost as if, I don't know how to put it, but that way everyone just keeps liking. Everyone who sees it is like, oh, I want to try it. They try it, they like it, and now the youth actually do like it.
Okay.
I think to also add to that, you know, tobacco contains nicotine, and actually this is a very addictive substance. The moment you try it, you know, on several maybe occasions, then you get addicted to that. And when you look at shisha, when you look at the process it undergoes, the burning, the emission of the carbon monoxide, as you mentioned, there's water down there that cools this, you know, this gas and makes it a bit heavier. When you take it in, you have that milky feeling within your throat. I have not tested it.
No, sir, I'm not judging.
You have this milky taste and you feel young. You know, this nicotine actually stimulates the production of dopamine. And we know the function of, Doc is here, he tells us the function of dopamine. So it's a neuro, you know, kind of transmitter and carry information here and there. So the information it carries like it makes you feel young, you know, feel active, feel, as you mentioned, you know, try to be among the, you know. So the moment you lay your hands on it, then if you are not careful, you find it difficult to you know, abstain. And then it also has the flavor he mentioned. You know, these flavors, they are good. Strawberry flavor, you know, apple and stuff like that. I hope you're not going to ask me this.
No.
You know, these are things that actually makes, you know, give them that sensation to actually go in for this thing, and they find it difficult to really abstain if you get used to it.
Okay. Before I come to Doc, sir, what is shisha legal?
Okay, so I mentioned tobacco earlier.
Yeah.
When the act, was implemented or was born, we actually have role to play in regulation of tobacco. So it's tobacco, okay? It's a product of tobacco. So any rule or law that applies to tobacco applies to shisha. Like, the responsibility of the owner of a restaurant or a public place, he has a role to play. The minor, under 18 years should not use. These are some of the rules. And you should also have like pictures depicting health implication, in the use of tobacco.
Yeah.
So any law that applies to shisha, if there's a no smoking zone here, you smoke there, the law will apply to you. Don't smoke in public, and you do, the law applies to you. So it's the same as shisha. Whatever applies to tobacco applies to shisha. And we can give you, a fine of up to 9,000 Ghana cedi if you default doing some of these things. Whether you are the owner of the facility, you should have a no smoking zone, dedicated for smoking. Whoever wants to smoke should go in there and then smoke. You don't have problem with anybody. Lock yourself in there and smoke and come out. If you own a facility and you don't have a premises for that, then the law affects you. If you have the premises and you have a place for that, the person comes and doesn't want to use the place, you have the right to also report the law. The law takes its course. So whatever that applies to tobacco applies to shisha.
So in other words, it's actually legal to have a shisha lounge in Ghana.
Yes, you can have it. But have it within the jurisdiction that the law asks you to have it, not in public places or maybe around where kids are, pregnant women are. So if you do, then no one has problem with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, Doc. Shisha, what are the health implications?
Okay, so as we said earlier, smoking shisha is almost equivalent to smoking cigarettes. So we actually have to make these misconceptions, but we have to demystify them. Shisha is not safer. Shisha is not less addictive. It is not. So we should know that there are health implications. The same health implications that come with smoking cigarettes is just the same health implications that come with smoking shisha. So basically, normally shisha with smoking, normal smoking cigarettes, it's mostly we talk about, you always hear lung cancer. I think even on the packet they've told you that smoking causes lung cancer, but most people don't even think lung cancer, smoking shisha can cause lung cancer. So yes, so with smoking shisha, the same thing happens. The ingredients and the toxins that are in it, the carcinogens, when we say carcinogens, they are just cancer-causing toxins. So the carcinogens, they are all in it. When you burn through the smoke, even with the charcoal burning through it, it causes these toxins to be released, and that's what you are smoking into your system. So firstly, it can cause lung injury. Which in turn can also lead you to lung CA. With the way they're smoking, it causes lung CA.
Okay.
It has lung cancer, sorry.
Yeah.
It also causes other types of cancer, stomach cancer, throat cancer, esophageal cancer, any kind of, almost a lot of cancers are actually linked to smoking.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, then we have one thing smoking to that is that it narrows your blood vessels. So your blood vessels, that are basically the pipes that are supplying blood to the rest of your body. It narrows it through a process called arteriosclerosis. I didn't want to mention it.
No, you would have to repeat that again.
So, I'm not mentioning it again. I didn't drink tea this morning. So it narrows these blood vessels. So when it narrows these blood vessels, it leads to your blood pressure going high. So you can actually get predisposed to getting hypertension. And those who have these kind of risk factors like hypertension are also at risk of getting heart diseases. So you could have a heart attack. You could even get a stroke from it. We have an myocardial infarction. That's basically a heart attack that you can also get from it. Then there's also this with the shisha. So mostly the shisha, when you go to the lounges and stuff, the mouthpiece, people can a group of people sit down and they are sharing the same mouthpiece. Yeah. So even sometimes after the puff, they've taken their puffs, the place goes to sterilize the mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. That happens in some places, but we don't know how much is being sterilized. But when groups are together, So me and maybe Mr. Yusuf and you smoke, you pass it on to me. I also pass it to. So with that way, you could actually have infections being transmitted. So even an STD like oral herpes can actually be transmitted that way. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think let me also add, the youth or people who use it things that because the filtration, the smoke passes over water.
Yeah.
For that matter, is filtered. Let's be mindful. We have the smoke of that comes out of the cigarette, the shisha. We have more than 7,000, chemicals, harmful chemicals in there, and about say maybe 100 are very harmful. Okay. 50 can cause cancer, as he mentioned. Okay. So even if the water should trap some of the chemicals, you still have enough that can cause diseases. Okay. But when you look at the shisha, when you look at the components, after a while, if you take out the water, you see the color has changed. That is because it has trapped some of the harmful chemicals in there. So it tells you, at least physically looking at it, it tells you what is in there. Yes. So the mentality that the water actually filters, the toxin or toxic chemicals, is not entirely true, because most of it, if you know the number that are in there, you know that just few have been trapped out.
Wow. So if you just joined us, this is the Young Voices Forum, and today we are discussing shisha. Is it a lifestyle that is in vogue, and is it harmless? So if you have any questions or any contributions, you can just leave them in the comment section. Doc is here. We also have Mr. Yusuf here. They will answer all the questions that you have. You can also share the video so that it gets to other young people so that they can benefit from it. Doc, some people say that shisha, continuous taking of shisha causes infertility. Is this true?
Okay, so I don't want to use the word cause.
Okay.
Because in medicine we have something we call risk factors.
Okay.
So in risk factors, a risk factor is like, let's say, a situation, in this case shisha, that increases your likelihood of getting a particular disease.
Okay.
So yes, it doesn't cause it, but it increases your likelihood of actually getting infertility.
Okay.
It increases your likelihood of actually getting infertility, because in men, for instance, I want to take it with, let's say, men and women. Yeah. So in men like this, even though maybe something, let's say, Ajah Mansa will go and take shisha, she'll be able to give birth, or even in men, it will be normal, everything will be normal. But the other person goes to take it and gets a problem. So we can't say it's a direct cause. We can say it's a risk factor. So by risk factor, in men, it actually it can cause what we men fear the most, erectile dysfunction. Okay. So it could actually cause no cause, I don't want to use the word cause, that's the term, but it can increase your likelihood of actually getting erectile dysfunction. Yeah, then it can also affect your sperm production, also affect the quality of the sperm you are shooting. Then even how they are going to swim, the whole morphology or shape of the sperm, it could actually be affected by taking smoking.
Would it slow them down?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, it is let them know. I don't know why you're happy about that.
Oh no, I mean, I just wanted to know. All right, sir, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think to add to that, overproduction of the dopamine, actually, it has effect on the absorption or production of insulin. If there's no insulin to pick up glucose units and be used by the cells, you are likely to develop diabetes. And we know diabetes is also, a factor to developing, as you mentioned, erectile dysfunction and other stuff. So it's in the long run, it does.
All right. So yes, the conversation still continues. We are still discussing shisha and if it is harmless fun or it's actually harmful. You can keep your comments and your questions coming in the comment section. We are going to take a very quick break, and when we get back, the conversation continues. Hello, amazing viewers. The good news is here. We went on a little break, but we are back, yes, with invigorating content. I know you missed us. We missed you more. You matter to us. That is why we are back to bringing you your favorite youth-centered talk show that focuses on reproductive health and rights. We will talk about the good, the bad, the fun, the thrilling, and even the downright heartbreaking. And collectively, we will suggest solutions to it. We listen to your suggestions and inputs, and we are back with new everything. Okay, not new everything, but definitely some new changes. As a platform that continues to ensure that young people get the needed information about their reproductive health and rights, we are back with new changes to make the show exciting. Now, you can join the conversation with your questions via WhatsApp even before the show begins. All you need to do is to send them to 059 394 7812. Again, 059 394 7812. The juicy part, which is my favorite part, is now you stand the chance to win souvenirs like branded t-shirts, pens, caps, and even airtime when you join and actively participate in our broadcast sessions. So tell a friend to tell a friend to also tell 10 friends to like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook at Subsign TV, and join us this Friday and every Friday at 3 p.m. as we learn and have fun. Young Voices Forum, centering young people's voices in development. Welcome back. If you just joined us, we are still talking about shisha and if it's a harmful lifestyle or it is just a harmless fun. Keep your comments and your questions coming in the comment section. Our guests are here and they will answer any question that you have on this issue. So Doc, before we went on the break, we're talking about the infertility bit, shisha predisposing to infertility. You were saying something?
Yeah, so as I was saying, so I think I had almost exhausted that with the men. So with the women too, the same thing happens. It could actually affect the quality of your eggs. Then also shisha can actually, the tobacco can actually affect your hormones, and these hormones are what, let's say, regulate your cycle. So you now be having irregular cycles. When you are supposed to be ovulating, you are not ovulating. You'll be having those kind of things, and those things can actually affect your fertility too. Then, yeah, so with that too, with the women, normally when they have these abnormalities and it happens in the egg, they actually predispose them to getting early miscarriages, because in obs and gynae, or let's say obstetrics, during the first time, that's the first time of the pregnancy, the number of let's say pregnancies that get destroyed, or let's say get miscarriages, actually are from, let's say, chromosomal abnormalities, and shisha can actually play a very huge role in this. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. So yeah, Mr. Bakari, why do we allow shisha? If shisha is so harmful, why do we, agree for, lounges to have a place where they operate them? Shouldn't the FDA be banning such stuff?
Yeah, so as I said earlier on, tobacco smoking, it's not a crime. Shisha is not an exception.
Okay.
The crime here is if you do it at the wrong time and at the wrong place.
Okay.
So if you own a place, you should have, the law says you should have a designated place for smoking. Go in there, smoke yourself out and come out. Do not go to places that there are signs of no smoking and smoke. So the law covers, or should I say, protects people around who do not use the product. So it goes on to say that children under 8, do not expose them to buying or selling, or maybe the use of tobacco, to protect those vulnerables as well, pregnant women as well. So if you go beyond this, then the law takes its course. It's just like they say, even eating, too much eating is a problem. If you don't eat, it's a problem. So you should eat, but you should not eat maybe to the extreme. So that is it. The laws are making. FDA, we have implemented and we enforce so much of these laws, and they are working. As I mentioned earlier, before the break that you could even receive a fine of up to 9,000 Ghana cedis, depending on maybe the penalty units that you've been found, with. So the laws are working. We are working. We monitor these facilities. A place like this, we monitor the facilities. We inspect their areas to see whether they have the signs. The product, before you register a product, we ensure that you put pictures of that depicts health implications on those tobacco. So when you pick the registered tobacco product, you see that there are health pictures showing the lungs, how it's destroyed, showing other parts of body, what happens to the body when you take in tobacco. So we are actually doing a lot. We have public education that we are doing to, actually statistics shows that less than 10% in Ghana here smoke. You understand? Though you can look at it as though it's small, but it's not. It should not be encouraging. Yeah, because let's talk about the second-hand smoke here. You see, the second-hand smoke, when you talk about cigarettes, is the smoke that comes from the burning end of the cigarette, and the smoke that comes from the one smoking. So you see, you are breathing out smoke, and your own breath together with the smoke. So the one who is exposed is several-fold at risk even than the one who is taking in the cigarette.
Yeah, I was coming to that because we hear people say that, me, I don't smoke, but then their friends are doing the shisha thing and they are seated from when they start to when they end, but they say that, me, I don't smoke some. Like I went to accompany them, but I don't smoke some.
So
how is the effect on such a person?
Yeah, so such a person has multiple fold of effect than you, the person smoking. Because perhaps you, the person smoking, you are just taking in the carbon monoxide. But one, you are giving out the carbon monoxide, your own breath, together with the burning end of the cigarette. So you see the effect is multiple here. So you, the one who is actually around the environment, is going to experience the effect more.
Okay.
Yes. So we have embarked on a lot of activities, our regulatory activities, market surveillance to visit facilities. And then we have our hotlines to report, complaints, and we quickly follow up. And then, we have other programs. I think in May we had we have scheduled 31st of May in every year to celebrate what we call the World No Tobacco Day. I think a few months ago it took place in Upper East in Bolga, where our CEO was there. It was actually a marvelous activity. And the theme was tobacco, a threat to the environment. You see, we are not only looking at it as a threat or an effect on the individuals around, but also the environment, because bushfires comes out of some of these things. They smoke cigarettes, and then it falls in water. It pollutes our water body and other stuff. So we have laws. There are laws that actually. So we cannot say, okay, don't smoke. But we ensure that even before you pick a stick of cigarette, there are all the health warnings on them, at least to tell you that you are actually smoking yourself to troubles. So it's now your choice to decide to do it. But then if you go to the extreme of bringing out yourself to the public, then that is where we have issues with you. If not, we don't have issue when you smoke, because you should know, we will tell you, and you can also see that it's actually harmful for yourself. If you decide to go and eat, some junk food, you know the effect. We cannot ask you not to eat it. It's just the same thing. At the end of the day what you are taking, what it might cost to you. So we cannot prevent you from smoking, but then we have to enforce the law.
Yes.
So from what Mr. Yusuf was saying, I could clearly hear him mostly talking about the health implications drawn on the cigarettes. But the case with shisha is that there's not much awareness as compared to cigarettes. So you will have someone, if let's say I start smoking right now, you see the two of you might just get a bit like, you don't smoke, because you know that if you are a secondary smoker, you are actually going to get the same health risk as me who is smoking. But with shisha, most people don't even know. And even I'm sure in the older
you say the smell is nice, so maybe it's probably
yeah,
that's what it's
exactly.
making them say. Yeah.
And even the older generation, I'm sure they don't even know anything about shisha. I'm sure some people, this is the first time they are hearing shisha. So I think the awareness about shisha is actually very little.
Yeah, very little.
Very little. So if the FDA can even do something to actually promote and make more noise about shisha smoking and its health implications, I think that will actually help, especially the secondary smokers too. Yeah.
We have actually within the region, we have plans and we have public education all the time in the regions, in town, our media stations, and we talk about some of these things. But actually, with the issue of the shisha, as you said, this is something that originated somewhere, maybe in Asia, not around here. So if you look at the youth who are aware of it, they are just very little. So we have actually started the education on it. Gradually, we are sure that it will get to the whole public on this. But as I also mentioned, for the laws, we are enforcing the laws. Yes, we are enforcing the law. We visit facilities and then we make sure that these places are designated for such activities. Yes.
Okay, so sir, you were talking about you having a number where people can call to report some of the activities. So I would want I want you to go briefly over the how do I put it? Over at what point can someone call to make a report? If what is happening, can someone call to make a report? And also maybe put the number out there for people that are listening. Yeah.
Okay. So just to talk a bit about what and what goes in the before you make a report. If you feel that somebody is smoking in an open place, it's not right. You advise the person or you report the person to the owner of the facility. If there's a designated place, you let the person go in there and then do what the needful. But if the person still refuses, then you can call on the security to pick up the person. Then from there, they can process the person to wherever that it's due. If you have a facility, you think you have workers, and you have an area designated for smoking, and you think that somebody is in there smoking, you don't have the right to force your staff to go in there and undertake any activity. It's against the law. The staff can also pick it up and then report you. Or you see maybe somebody, a child below, or let me say, below 18 years being exposed to tobacco or tobacco product or any activity of those nature, you can also pick it up and then, call on the FDA. We are everywhere at the region, at the national level. We can pick some of these things up. We have a lot on this law. If you see a product, a cigarette product or tobacco product that has no warning signs, health warning signs, already tells you that this product is not even registered by the FDA. We will not register such a product. So these are illegal products that find their ways, from other neighboring countries into the country. We are doing very, very, very much, putting very much effort trying to get them. But it's difficult, but we are trying our best. Those that we find on the market, we seize them, we give them fines, and then they face the necessary law. So these are some of the ways. So when you see some of these things, you can easily call on the FDA hotline. After I'll get a number for you after all. Then maybe we quickly, wherever you are, you call on FDA. It doesn't take up to 12 hours. It will be, even if you are Bunkurugu, we'll be there. Consumer complaints, we don't actually play with consumer complaints. Yeah, so that's just a few about the laws. There are many I can talk about, but I think with these few, if you give out the line and anybody has an issue, you can just call. Our regional director is there. We will dedicate officers to quickly,
come and check the situation.
Yeah, the situation.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, unfortunately, we are getting to the end of the program. It's been a very interesting discussion. But before we wrap up completely, Dr. Elim, today is actually National Youth Day. So your final words and put it in line with the celebration today.
Okay, so anything to the youth, I'll tell them that in as much as we are trying to chill, we know you only live once. We keep saying that you only live once. Exactly. So let's try to make it a point. So no matter how much you are chilling, the extent of chilling, always protect your life. Because these things, you might be taking them now, and the implications just don't come immediately. It's something that builds up over time. Then over time, later, when you are actually supposed to look after your kids and other stuff, you actually become so sick. You get something like a stroke, lung cancer, and the prognosis of these diseases are very bad, especially in Ghana. if I'm in Ghana, Ogbago, like you go. But yeah, that's the thing. That's my message for the youth.
All right, sir. Your final words.
Actually, I'll take this opportunity and then reach out to the youth that they shouldn't just try it. Death that is caused out of cigarette smoking or tobacco smoke can be avoidable. It's one of the avoidable deaths we can actually deal with. Don't try it. If you try it, you are likely to get addicted. Yes, and if you find yourself or you think there are places you need to report to us on tobacco or any other FDA regulated product, please, you can just call on us. We'll be there. Yes, we are in the region.
All right.
We do a lot in the region. So I have
the hotline.
Yes, that you can call at any time to respond. As FDA, we don't have time that we close. We only serve the last customer before we close. We work weekends, we work every time. So, yeah. So if I could mention the number.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's 054 620 90. So actually, this is the regional director, Northern Region, North East and Savannah. This is the contact.
Yes. Okay.
So,
all right. Thank you very much. So we are wrapping up, and then one question has come in. I think that we need to address this before we go. So Abbas says that my friend says smoking shisha alone is nothing but fun. That the harm comes from when other things are introduced into it to make them feel hyper. Is there any difference?
No, there's.
Is that true?
No,
is that
it's
what
not
is it?
True.
Okay.
It's not true.
So shisha on itself alone?
The shisha is the tobacco you put in there.
Okay.
You add whether it's electrical or charcoal you put in there to burn it. When you burn, the carbon monoxide comes out. That is what you take in.
Okay.
So when the carbon monoxide is coming out, because there's water, it cools it down. That's what you take in for the pleasure.
Okay.
Whether you add, what do I call it, flavor or not, you are still taking, or you add molasses or not, you are still taking the tobacco. So what is important there is the tobacco substance. So, and that is what is harmful.
Okay. So
Yes.
even if whether you add nothing or not,
You are still taking the
shisha
of
is
course.
harmful.
That's it.
Let me add something.
Yeah.
That even let's say you take lettuce or cabbage and you try to smoke it with the charcoal or everything,
Yes.
the carbon monoxide that is
That
going to
comes,
produce
yes.
and you are inhaling it, it's still going to hurt you no matter what.
Of course.
So it doesn't matter what you are adding, it's harmful. And in this case, the tobacco they are using is actually really harmful. Yes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard Dr. Elim Aholu and Mr. Yusuf Abubakar. They said whether you add something or not, shisha is harmful. So stay far away from it as possible. If you need more information, you can always call the AGO helpline on 5100. You'll be connected to an attendant who would answer all your questions, or you can also call the She Plus toll-free line, which is 0800 001122. So on this note, this brings us to the end of our discussion. Until we come your way, same time next week. My name is Rahalenchi. I was your host for today, and happy International Youth Day. Bye-bye.